Inside PressBox is presented by Freedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to freedmontmortgage.com now for all of your mortgage needs. And welcome to another edition of Inside PressBox presented by Freedmont Mortgage. I'm your host, Stan the Fan Charles, and what a show we've got for you today. This is a big football weekend, not just in the NFL, but at nearby Stevenson University, where the Mustangs are playing their first ever home football game at the new Mustang Stadium. Before the season started, we got a tour from Paul Cantabene, the Mustangs Associate Athletic Director for Facilities and also the men's lacrosse coach. We're also going to talk to Baltimore Grand Prix President and CEO Jay Davidson about last weekend's successful inaugural Grand Prix. But first, CSN Baltimore staff writer John Eisenberg, who covers the Ravens and other various and sundry beats, is here to talk about those Ravens and their opening match against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is here, John. They're ready to get it on.
As opposed to no season at all, which was really a possibility there, it seemed like, for a long time. So I don't think that's a bad thing for every football fan to take a step back and say, well, at least they're having a season, because it was pretty close to not having one.
Now, the combination of the lockout and no OTAs and all that stuff, I've never seen a Ravens. I know Ozzie likes to strike late. He acquired T.J. Houshmandzadeh last year at the end and Willie Anderson one year for the O-line.
Right.
But I've never seen this many significant players come into a Ravens camp in the midst of things.
Well, they've really made two. The main additions they've made are both linemen here in the last couple of weeks. Bryant McKinney, the left tackle. Andre Garrod, the center they got in case Matt Burke from Dallas.
Four-time All-Pro guy. Five-time All-Pro.
Pro Bowls in a row.
Right.
He's made the last 5 Pro Bowls, and Ozzie picks him up a week before the season. A nice pickup.
Yes.
That's where they've really gone out and done some things here in the last minute, and that's where they needed to do some things. So I think they're pretty good moves. All of the moves, or almost all the moves, I think that Ozzie's made have been pretty good. I think Ricky Williams, a real nice pickup. I think he's going to be a good running back. Vonta Leach, best fullback in the league.
Lee Evans, and really an upgrade in terms of what he can do for this offense.
Lee Evans, to me, is the key pickup because the problem they had last year, those receivers, Derek Mason, they're all good, Houshmandzadeh, but none of them could get deep. None of them could stretch the field, and opposing teams knew that. And all year the Ravens ran into teams with eight defenders in the box because they knew they couldn't get past.
And that bottles up your
running game, which is what happened to the Ravens last year. So getting Evans on board to catch some deep balls is going to be a real game changer for this offense. But, of course, the reality is they have to make that happen, and they have to protect Joe Flacco enough to give him time to make that happen.
Here's my problem with it, though, and I understand they've been changing on the fly. Is there enough time before the Steelers game are they going to be efficient against the Steelers? I think by week 2 or certainly by week 4, this got a chance to be a very dynamic offensive line.
I think so. I agree with you there. I think week 1 it's going to be asking a lot. I think it's asking a whole lot. I mean, here comes Lamar Woodley, here comes James Harrison, and these are some of the best players in the league. And these guys have never lined up next to each other, and communication is key. Across the line, they're always pointing, I got that guy, you got that guy. I'm simplifying it, but that's basically what happens. When a call is made, they know they have certain responsibilities, and that's going to be tough to pull off.
2 more real topics I want to hit you with, and I hope you'll come on a few times during the season,
sure.
Being such a great writer for CSNBaltimore.com and following the Ravens. What's the effect going to be, Chuck Pagano, on this defense?
Well, going into it, Chuck has a mandate, all right? When Greg Mattison left, and they didn't really mind him leaving, here comes Chuck Pagano, a more fiery guy, a guy that relates to the players better. I think a guy that the players will have more fun playing for.
He's much more like Rex in terms of his,
And so the mandate is amp it up a little here, all right? Let's not sit back and just let teams beat us. We're going to be more aggressive, more physical, more punishing. It's not just blitzing more. It's being more surprising. It's being more physical. It's not. It's hitting harder, you know, and not letting other teams dictate what happens.
Now, let me be a conspiracy theorist real quick. Ozzie Newsome's pretty good friends with James Harris, the GM down in Jacksonville. Is one of the reasons Ozzie's never been that nervous about this backup quarterback situation that he knew David Garrard might fall in his lap? Wouldn't he be a perfect fit for what they need? He
would be a real perfect fit. They're very close to tapped out on the salary cap. I don't know what David Garrard would want. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's not going to come for the minimum. Maybe he would. I'm sure they kicked the tires. I have no doubt they kicked the tires. Why it didn't happen, I don't know. I will say this though. It's not just window dressing that they're impressed with Tyrod Taylor. I mean, I think it's a gamble to go into the season with him. He's pretty good.
I don't doubt that he's pretty good, but it is a huge gamble. John, continue the good work. Who you like this week?
If you had to pin me to the wall, I think I'm taking Pittsburgh.
All right, so am I. Go to csnbaltimore.com. The Ravens insider, John Eisenberg, wrote that there seemed to be a below-average amount of trash talking between the Ravens and the Steelers this week. Read more about the build-up to Week 1, as well as post-game analysis at csnbaltimore.com.